Hey everyone, it's Alex here, and on today's episode of the YaBonks Show, I have a very special guest with us today. I have Chris Sheehan from Spritz Finance, and Spritz Finance is actually a money services business that allows you to pay your credit card, mortgage, and other bills directly with cryptocurrencies from your DeFi wallets, as well as from multiple DeFi networks. Chris, do you want to say hi to the audience and maybe share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. What's up, everybody? Just pumped to be here. Yeah, happy to share what we're up to at Spritz. Alex, I mean, you just said it beautifully. It's exactly what we do and more. We've got some other really cool stuff coming out, and yeah, I'm the solo founder of Spritz, but we've got a wonderful team across the U.S. and abroad, and yeah, very excited to share what we're up to with you guys.
Very cool. Now, I know I gave a very basic overview of this, but in your own words, do you want to give us like a bird's eye view, an elevator pitch of Spritz Finance?
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you're a Web3 user, you're touching crypto, you're using blockchains, you've got a wallet. If you want to do anything financially in the real world, pay your bills, buy groceries, shop on Amazon, pay your rent, whatever it is, Spritz is a place to do that. So yeah, we've launched with a bill pay service directly from your MetaMask, from your Coinbase wallet, pay your mortgage, your student loans, your credit card, anything coming out of your bank account, your checking account today. With Spritz, you can get rid of all that and completely go bankless and kind of run your financial life from your blockchain wallets from crypto. And we've got all this other stuff coming out too, including an off ramp and bank payments, and eventually, pretty soon, a debit card for everybody as well.
Nice. Now, for everyone watching, are you available to the entire world right now, or only to specific countries?
Yeah, I wish we were available to the entire world. We've got tons of people coming in from all over looking to, yeah, pay their bills with crypto. But we did just launch in the US. So we're kind of focused on US residents today. If you're a US person living abroad, if you're, here on a green card or something like that, it still works for you. But yeah, focused on US residents today, and the types of bills that are in the system, like, Amex Platinum, City Card, Rocket Mortgage, that sort of thing. It's all geared toward US users. As we get and move towards launching the debit card in Q1 of next year, that will be available for a much wider audience. So in Europe and Asia and elsewhere, you'll be able to use the debit card that's backed by your self custody wallets.
Did you say Q1 of next year, 2023?
That's right. Yeah, we're already busy at work
Wow.
on this. We've got the infrastructure laid out. It's just about, like everything we do, making sure it works really, really well until we release it to everybody.
Okay, great. So right now everything works for US based customers. I have tried this out. I am in the US and I paid my credit card with it already, and it worked seamlessly, and the verification process, like the KYC stuff, was minimal. So, Chris,
Yeah,
do you
great.
want to let the audience know what do they need to verify of their personal information to use this?
Yeah, it's really just a name and address, and you verify kind of you do that 6 digit on your phone, as well. So there's no documents, nothing like that. We use something called Cognito, which is probably something you've seen for other even crypto services. I mean, it's 30 seconds, and once you're in the system, then it's really, 3 steps: add your wallet or connect your wallet, add your bills, one bill, two bills, all your bills, whatever you want, and then you can unlock the payments, and it's just one click, a single, blockchain transaction, and you can pay the bills.
Nice. Yeah, it's very easy. I didn't have to do like get my driver's license out with my phone and
Yeah,
try
cool.
to take the pictures, and I didn't have to then like take a facial picture of myself holding the credit card like I've had to do with some other apps and central exchanges and things like that.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I was very surprised. I just like put in my name and address, put two-factor authentication on my phone, and I was in. I was good to go. Um,
Yep.
so how I guess my main question is, how is this possible? Why have we not seen services like this before?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, well, to answer the second question first, right? I mean, I think you mentioned Bitrefill. There's some other services that have been around even since the early Bitcoin days, trying to do this, because people realized early on we couldn't just walk into a, grocery store or gas station and say, hey, here's my Bitcoin. Can I, pay whatever this
Yeah,
many
it's like
Satoshis
where
for.
do I put this in?
Yeah, this is a QR. People are like, even 5 years ago, people are like, "What is a QR code?" Right now, they're
Yeah.
everywhere. So there's been kind of these like OG services that have kind of come and gone, and with Spritz, we wanted to kind of reimagine it. And there's a lot of really great new infrastructure out there on both the Web3 side and on the Web2 side, right? That even beyond like Plaid and some of these other services you might have heard of, that allows us to make these connections much more seamless, much less
Mhm.
error prone today, create a better experience, right? So, but at the end of the day, your transaction is transferring crypto to Spritz, and simultaneously we're issuing out a fiat payment on your behalf to the bill. And we're using partners on the back end that help us integrate with thousands and thousands of these billers, or with for our off-ramp product, right, for your bank. So at the end of the day, it's Spritz's kind of bank accounts and our partners that are making the payments, but it's walled off from the crypto side of things. Whoever's receiving your bill doesn't even know that it's coming from crypto, or certainly not coming from this or that wallet. They just
Okay.
say, "Oh, I see a payment coming in, $1,000. It's from this that bank, and it's for Alex's Citibank card." And that's good for them, right? As long as we've got, that's why the KYC is crucial, because our own partners want to make sure, hey, we understand whose funds at the end of the day are being transferred.
Right. Now, when the credit card company or whoever gets that payment coming from you saying this is on Alex's behalf, do they ever flag that or, you know, uh, deny the transactions or payments?
No, in fact, the only time things don't work as planned is if there's something wrong with the account information, right? And that unfortunately happens a lot with utility bills, where there's not really a great, connectivity a system for kind of saying, oh, this is Alex's, water bill, wherever,
Mm,
right? Those systems are very antiquated. When it's an Amex card, or a Wells Fargo mortgage or something like that, we're getting data back right away. And in fact, today, a lot of the payments take between 1 and 3 business days to arrive at the bills. And in hopefully by end of January, we're actually going to have same day payments for most of the bills. So you'll be able to kind of get
oh,
that quick
wow.
feedback cycle. Hey, this actually worked. Let's make a bigger payment next time.
Yeah, before I agreed to do this interview, I wanted to make sure the system worked, and I did the payment for like a test amount on my credit card, and it took about four days or so for me to get notification that the payment
Yep.
was made, and then another business day or two for my bank to have it show up as well. So it took about 4 or 5 days before
Yep.
I saw that like hit my bank account, and then I was like, yeah, let's do it. I would love to get this. Like, it was magic when it happened. Now, in
Yeah.
terms of like paying bills on time, do you recommend right now how it's set up for users to pay the bill like a week ahead of time? Or if they like send the bill on the 30th and it's due on the next month on the 1st, should they go
Yeah.
the traditional route just to be safe?
Yeah, because that's the thing. We send, at least the way we are today, and again, this is improving in January. But again, as soon as we receive your crypto, we're sending out that payment, and actually, it's arriving at your biller, Chase or whomever, within 1 or 2 days. It's actually very fast. And now, then it's kind of up to them to say, I've received it. Let me do all my crunching my numbers. Now let's actually update Alex's account on the front end to show that it's been paid, right? And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times it actually will have been paid even though they don't even show you, which is
Hmm.
frustrating, and it's something we can't really control. So until that real time payment gets there, which is coming, right? We do recommend, yeah, 3 to 5 days ahead of time, just kind of set it and forget it, so to speak, so that it arrives on time. We are launching something called Smart Pay, which would be a fully smart contract mediated kind of recurring payment system. So you can
Hmm.
say, hey, I've got a bill, it's due January 13th. So let me make sure it's paid on time, approve the transaction now. and then we'll kick off you'll continue to earn yield or whatever it is, stay long ETH or whatever asset you've got, and then just in time we'll withdraw the asset for you and then send it off to the biller.
So you will have a recurring monthly payment option coming soon.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Precisely. Yeah.
Nice. Uh,
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, that's great. So I guess another thing a lot of my viewers like to know is how secure is this whole thing? This is new technology and it's integrating with like, bank accounts and their wallets and
Yep.
everything. What can you say on that to kind of increase confidence of the security of your setup here?
Yeah, well, the big thing is, I mean, at the end of the day, all of our architecture is on kind of AWS Lambda, kind of serverless technology, right? We we're not required to save very much information at all. So even the KYC information, right? That's kind of like a check. Hey, we know this person, and then it's sort of it's not in our systems anymore once you set up the account. Also, the billers who are receiving the funds, again, they're not sort of getting information that you're associated with Spritz even or that you're paying with crypto. So that's very important to us. And then you know, Spritz is non-custodial, right? We're not asking you to deposit your funds or kind of trust us to warehouse your funds. You're just connecting a wallet, making a payment. It's transparent, and then you're done. And so you could, if you really want to be super secure, you could create a one-time wallet and use with Spritz even, right? You can revoke the approvals when you want to. We're actually going to start giving people fine-grained approval ability there. So and you can see the smart contracts and on the blockchain, they're very, very simple and easy to understand as well. So yeah, we're doing our best to be as secure as we can and take privacy into account also.
And I think I noticed when I used the application, you might already have that fine grained approval amounts because I do believe I had to set the approval amount exactly at the exact amount
Yeah,
that I
you
was
might
going
have
to use
seen
or
it.
above, and yeah.
Hmm.
So and then it allowed me to uh, disapprove that contract as well, which I like that was right there on the front end. I didn't have to go to like a special website to go do that.
Yeah, yeah, we're experimenting with some of that, and it is we have as you'll hear from me or kind of see me talk elsewhere too. Feedback and even criticism is something that we really invite. In our Discord, on Twitter, we've got candy.io. It's spritz.candy.io. You can see all the features people have requested. So we pay attention to what people want, and yeah, people are kind of differ in what they're comfortable with, and we want to give them tools to adjust things if they want, but also put it behind the scenes if they just want it to work and be really simple.
Yeah. And if they want to use it, they just go to spritz.finance and they can just get going. And I noticed you guys gave me $10 free towards my first payment, and I'm assuming that's available for everyone, first time user as well,
Yeah,
right?
everybody gets that because just like you said, there's at least we've found, right, there's a certain magic to having this actually work.
Yeah.
When I started Spritz, I actually, even before we had written, a line of code, I actually started paying uh, a few folks' mortgage myself, and then accepting crypto in return. Saying, "Hey, Alex,
Yeah.
like, where's your mortgage? You got this pile of crypto. How about I'll just pay the mortgage and you send me whatever you got, like shit coins. I'll take it. LP tokens on whatever chain." Just get it over to me like fair price. And it's like, whoa, this, immediately you kind of saw people's eyes light up and they're like, whoa, can I do a credit card? Can I do my student loan? All this. And it's like, okay, wait, let me write some code now. Right. Um,
Yeah.
so that magic can happen, but people come to Spritz and they're like, if I send, if I send Spritz $10 or $100 in Avox, tokens, am I really going to see an update to my Chase, Sapphire card? So they kind of hold back. So he said, hey, let's just give everybody $10, no strings attached. Just pay your first bill with that, and then see it actually hit the account. And then we find that the trust goes way up. And, oh, I'll do $100 next time. I'll add my mortgage, etc. So yeah, come on and kind of for no risk, you can try us out.
Yeah, and that's what I did. I'm like, you'll match. me for my first $10. All right, sure. I put $10 in there. I used DAI stablecoin
Uh-huh.
on BNB Smart Chain BSC,
Yep.
and it was like super straightforward. And I'm like, that can't be it. And then a few days later, I got the notification in my email that the payment went through, and I checked my Chase account, and I'm like, no way. And it was
Yeah.
very discreet. Like there's no like this came from a crypto payment service or
Yep.
anything like that. So
Yep.
I did appreciate that you guys
Yeah,
weren't
that's good.
like crypto payment.
No, yeah, paid with crypto. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very and stable coins, we find 70-80% of people do pay with stable coins, and with the main stable coins, DAI, USDC, USDT, BUSD, we
Hmm.
just accept one to one. If it's $1,000 bill you're paying, we'll accept 1,000 DAI, and it's just ERC20 transaction. But if you want to pay with Matic or wrapped ETH or wrapped BTC, whatever it is, then we run it through a DEX on whichever chain, right? So
Hmm.
Pancake Swap if you're on BNB, and so it's still a single transaction for you, and it's swapping at a fair price, very low slippage to pay the bill, and it's still a single transaction. So yeah, you can
Nice.
basically pay any token, any chain is our vision.
Now I'm guessing you have to the user has to pay the swap fees in those cases.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So, at least thankfully now in mainnet, it's still very cheap now, even on Ethereum, right? So we have plenty of
Yeah.
people using Ethereum, but they're not paying their $100 utility bill. They're doing, 5K to the MX Platinum, two or
Yeah.
three times a month. So those folks are on Ethereum mainnet, everybody else is on Polygon. We've got Arbitrum, Avalanche, BNB Smart Chain, where the gas is pennies for those
Right.
transactions.
Awesome. Now, in terms of fees, do you also charge a transaction fee?
Yeah, we do. So yeah, we did a lot of kind of testing and everything. We launched a fee about a month ago, so it's kind of on a sliding scale. So it starts at I think 1.95% for low volumes, and then once you get over a certain amount, it's about 1.5% or 1.45%,
Hmm.
as you get higher. So we're going to continue to revise that, but yeah, we find that there's a pretty strong value proposition for people compared to going to a Dex, swapping there, withdrawing, waiting in time, and then all that time that's wasted where your asset isn't, earning yield for you. So yeah, 1.5 to 2% right now on transactions.
All right, good to know. So under $1,000, it's 1.95%. And then
Yep.
in the middle, 1,000 to $5,000, it's 1.75%. And
Yep.
over $5,000 a month, it's only 1.5%. And
Yep.
I'm guessing it keeps track each month. Like, okay, you've paid $700 now, but then
Yes.
if you pay another $500, that first thousand's at the 1.95% rate, and then anything above
Yep.
that thousand will be at the next
Hmm.
transaction rate, right?
Yeah. As soon as you cross over. Yeah, exactly. So,
Okay.
and for us, it's a nice balance. I've used a lot of the on-ramp services, right? Like MoonPay. I checked out, I don't know if you guys know, right? MetaMask launched a partnership with Sardine. So you can now on-ramp directly from your bank account to crypto on MetaMask, which is cool. But so I said, oh,
Hmm.
let me test it for $100. It was like $5 fee,
Oof.
just to do
Yeah.
that. And so, I think why are we punishing the little guy here? Let's just have kind of a percentage fee. And so if you're trying us for $10 or $100, it's just going to be pennies. And if you want to use this at scale, it's a fair fee that still kind of saves you a lot of time. So that's kind of our philosophy, and we'll adjust it over time, depending on the feedback from users.
Excellent. Yeah, that's great. I my old way of getting it to my bank account and then to like my credit card account, at times it would I had like fees, gas fees, transaction fees all along the way, and it was like 10%. And if especially like you said, if it was like less than $500, then and if they're charging like a flat rate fee, then that
Yeah,
ate in
yeah.
a large percentage of the amount I was sending,
Hmm.
because I would bounce from like, DeFi from my MetaMask wallet over to like, I don't know, something like KuCoin or another kind of middleman, and then from there to like Binance or Coinbase, and there's
Yeah,
like fees.
bridging,
Yeah.
wormholes where there's hacks all the time, right? And it's just kind of a mess. So, going back to that philosophy of Spritz, right? Anything you want to do in the real world financially and you're a crypto user, we want Spritz to be the place for that. So as we add other services, we'll have different kind of fees that are hopefully appropriate for each one. But the idea is you've got this one app, connect your wallet, and you can do all this stuff. You don't have to kind of dance around, 12 different protocols or CFI services to get it done.
Yeah, I'm like, does Crypto Refills have this gift card today? No.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what my like favorite thing's been doing the Amazon gift card because we buy everything with
Yeah.
Amazon. But doing that, I miss out on like the 5% rewards I
Yeah, the
get
Amazon
from
card. Yeah,
my
exactly.
Amazon card. So I'm like,
Yep.
dude, I'm losing that 5% discount from using my Amazon card. But this way, I can just pay with that card and then pay that directly with Spritz, and I can still
Yep.
use my credit card, and then I end up like still, minus that 2% fee approximately, a little less.
Hmm.
It'd be like that
Hmm.
5% minus that 2%. I'm up 3% in that deal, and that's not even including the fee that the crypto refills card website charges as well. So in this situation, I actually come out even higher than doing the
Yep.
crypto gift card thing because I still want to get my credit card rewards and then pay those off at the end of the month.
Yeah. Plus,
You
if
know,
you're, if you're, let's say you're spending, a couple $1,000s a month on that card, and you want to be long Ethereum, especially right now where prices are, down so much, you want to be buying, instead of having that cash sit in your checking account, which is, maybe you're using one of these 3% checking accounts now, maybe you're not, maybe you're getting nothing, right? You'd
mhm.
rather be invested in Ethereum. And with Spritz, you can stay invested up until the last minute. And then, 3 days and hopefully soon 0 days before that bill is due, you're going to just trade it for to make the payment, and so you've gotten the appreciation, you've gotten your 5% in the card. Yeah, you've paid some fees and some gas, but you're coming out ahead, time and time again. So that's kind of what we want to help people achieve.
Awesome. And so just to kind of reiterate everything we covered there, you guys work on basically every EVM compatible blockchain, and you accept not only stable coins, but you also automate the swapping of
Hmm.
coins like BNB or Matic or Ethereum. You automatically swap those on your end, and people can just pay their bills with any of those things. And also, how do you find your bills? Because I remember when I first tried it out, I put in my information. It's like, do you want us to find all of your bills? I'm like, yes. And all of a sudden, it started just compiling all of my accounts that I have outstanding balances on. I'm like, this is kind of creepy and bizarre. How did
Well,
you
that's why it's up to you.
how did you do that?
Yeah, just like with many things, right? We want to give you the option for convenience, but obviously with convenience, as most people are aware in crypto, right, comes a trade-off of whatever it is, privacy maybe, right? Something like that. So
Yeah.
we give you the choice. Because you've done KYC with us and we have your name, you've gone through that process. And even though actually, we're not storing it, but the partners we're using kind of, we've said, hey, we've kind of bounced off them. Hey, we've got this guy, Alex, he wants to be a customer. They say, okay. Now they've got, your name and address. So if you're giving them permission, then they can basically go out to the billers they're already connected with, right? Chase, Amex, Bank of America, all of those, and say, hey, does Alex have any bills with you? If so, we
Mhm.
can surface that back to Alex and say, hey, do you want to add your Bank of America credit card? So it won't capture everything. It's not like we somehow magically see through the screen into what you've got, right? But if you want
Yeah.
to basically use that KYC to do that quick check, you can. If not, you just pull up your credit card to kind of type in the number, and then it's instantly payable on the platform.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that was bizarre, but very useful. I was like, that was easy.
Yeah, fair enough.
It, it surprised me how easy it was to do all this,
Yeah.
and I'm just wondering like why it seems like I have never heard of somebody successfully being able to do this. Like you're the first one where somebody said you can pay your bills with crypto that actually worked for me. So what
Yeah, cool.
I know I kind of started off with that question, like why hasn't anybody else done this effectively? Why are you guys like the first or only ones that I really know about?
Well, I think it's about, in terms of timing, right? There are a lot of non crypto bill pay services and apps built around student loans, right? People trying to build credit, refinance your car, right? So there are a lot of these services out there already, and then you kind of Chime and some of the neobanks, right? There are a lot of services out there already offering bill pay. It would kind of look a lot like Spritz, but there'd be nothing about crypto. And some of them
Mm.
maybe are adding crypto after the fact. So I think we've just been kind of one of the first ones to market to kind of put the two use cases together, crypto and then bill pay, right? But have the source of your bills not be your bank account, but be crypto. So, it's a fairly simple idea. And I think for us, it's about building up our community, creating a really simple and easy to use app, as you've seen, thank you, adding other use cases and being kind of a home for all of this. And that's how we build this up. But I think you are going to see, to be quite frank, right? I think you're going to see plenty of other, not necessarily copycats, but I think you'll see some functionality come maybe even in Coinbase or something, right? And it's a bit competitive to Spritz, but also is Coinbase going to support all the chains and all the tokens that we do? Are they going to be as affordable as we are, right? Are they going to have the other pieces of the pie, that we do? Probably not. So yeah,
Mm.
I think that's kind of how I think about our position today.
Now, speaking of Coinbase, if I correct me if I'm wrong, but when I was reading through your press releases, I think I
Mhm.
noticed that was it like the CTO of Coinbase or something invested in you guys too? Like, don't you
Yeah,
guys?
that's Balaji.
Yeah,
Yeah, Balaji Srinivasan. He's pretty famous in crypto Twitter and elsewhere. So yeah, he's an
yeah,
investor. Sandeep from Polygon. He was one of our first checks. So Sandeep has been a huge help, and the Polygon team that we launched on Polygon was our first chain because it was where kind of the average Joe was in crypto. People, a year ago, gas was like $50 or $100 to do a transaction on mainnet. Polygon was all the rage. Then,
yeah.
Phantom, Avalanche, all these other came out. So yeah, we've got a great, Diogo at Anchorage. Maybe people don't know Anchorage Digital, as your retail person, but they're the only kind of crypto infrastructure company with a banking charter, right? And so Diogo is
Mm.
one of our earliest investors too. We're working on, potentially working with them in the future as well. So yeah, great kind of cast of experts around us at Spritz.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, or at least have you explain that situation a bit because most of the projects I cover out here are super degen DeFi plays that
Mm,
are just extremely high risk, speculative, experimental tokenomics, kind of like
yeah,
games,
cool.
if you will. But this is not like that. This is a finance service, and you have
Yeah.
investors, big name investors from a lot of these large organizations people are
Hmm.
probably already familiar with. And I think that adds a
Hmm.
lot of credibility to your service here. You're not just like a fly by night kind of operation. Didn't you have a pretty big seed round investment?
Yeah, it was about 2.5 million back in January. We've added to it a bit this month, actually, with some of the same folks and some new people. Um, so yeah, it was, and even from Web two, right? We've have some Y Combinator partners, right, on the cap table. Yeah, for me, the degen stuff is amazing, and I was kind of very deep before. Now I'm running a company, right? But before
Yeah.
I was getting very deep myself, and Spritz wants to still kind of play with all those projects. We've actually got a partnership with QuickSwap already launched. You can kind of see
Hmm.
a link to Spritz right from QuickSwap on Polygon. We're going to be launching a partnership with Spritz Finance on Avalanche pretty soon, where you can pay with staked Avax token, right? We've been in conversations with folks like Frax, right? So there's all this kind of applications in DeFi, but how do we then link that back to everybody's, real life? So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of like the hopefully the trustworthy, somewhat boring, although we try to make it exciting, right? Project for all the DJ, do your fun stuff on chain, but when it comes time to pay your mortgage, trust Spritz to handle that for you.
That's a really great way to put it because I'm doing all the fun degen stuff. That's why I'm like obsessed and got into the space in the first place. But then it's like, oh, I have to go through the whole process to try to get that money out and put it in my bank to go do things with
Yeah.
it. And I would just like put it off and put it off, and it's on my to do list, and I have to do it by the end of the month or whatever. This makes my life
Yep.
so much easier, and that's why I wanted to get you on here for my audience because I think everybody could really use this who's doing what we do out here.
Yeah, and
you
we'd
know.
love to hear from you guys too. And if you try out Spritz, great. And then we've got a really robust like feedback. You can give us feedback on the chat, on the website, and Discord, wherever. But what games are you playing, right? What metaverses are you involved in? With what NFT projects? What even trading, copy trading or trading platforms are you using? Because ultimately, if you've got assets, kind of trapped in those protocols, I want to be, as the kind of the founder, I want to be talking to the founders of those projects and say, hey, how do we offer some tools to your community so when you're earning this in-game token,
Hmm.
you can kind of keep it there as you want to, but then if you need it, it's one click for your users, and actually that creates a lot more kind of sticky user base. So yeah, we're just kind of whatever people are looking for, we're happy to try to connect it and pursue it.
That's awesome. And I am in contact with dozens, if not hundreds, of DeFi project owners and founders and
I bet,
developers.
yeah.
So if you ever need a connection to somebody, let me know. I'd hook you up with them. I love making opportunities happen that can make
Yeah,
everybody's
we'll make it
lives
happen.
easier. Yeah. Now I know we are pushing it on time here. I just got a quick few more
Sure.
questions. So do you have like an API or anything for any of those projects or developers to integrate with their apps?
Yeah, not yet. So, if I could wave a magic wand, the answer would be yes. Here's the SDK, integrate away, right? So
Yeah.
we're a small team. We've really been focused on the app itself, but we're architecting it in such a way that the infrastructure is, able to be integrated into other projects, and eventually, right, to be able to attract other developers, maybe even in other countries, wherever, right, to actually integrate with Spritz, even on the TradFi side, kind of say, hey, I'm in South Africa. I want to pay my utility bill with crypto. Just integrate with Spritz, and then all of a sudden you can do that, right? So that's the
Mm.
vision. Where we are today, though, is really looking for projects to partner with us on the SDK and say, hey, what's the functionality you want to have in your DApp to off ramp, instantly? We have same day off ramp actually today, so you can, really popular product, or to pay bills. Let's work together to make sure that SDK works for you and co-design it. So yeah, I expect by the end of
Hmm.
next year we'll have a fully, deployed SDK. But for now, it's about finding someone to build it with.
Awesome. That'll be cool. Now, so you can directly off ramp to your bank account right now, same day.
Yeah, so that's another, it's a really important thing to mention. We started with bill pay because it's, pay your mortgage with crypto sounds
Yeah.
cool, right? But a lot of people
Right.
just want, like, give me a shortcut back to my bank account. I got it, whatever, buy some, Christmas gifts or something, or
Or
tip
or
tip
or
the door walker.
or give my roommate half of the mortgage or whatever.
Yeah,
If you
sure. Yeah,
stuff
of
like
course,
that.
split the bills. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, or rent, rent often is a like a bank payment to an individual landlord, right? So if you got their
Hmm.
bank details, same thing. So today with Spritz, you can off ramp again any token, any chain. We're supporting 6 chains though: Avalanche, Arbitrum, Optimism, BNB, Smart Chain, Polygon, ETH mainnet.
Hmm.
So connect your bank account, and depending on the kind of bank account you have, if you have most bank accounts, it's literally instant. So, in less than a couple minutes, if you've got Matic on Polygon, or, BNB on BNB Smart Chain, say, hey, I want $1,000 off, and then check your single transaction, check your bank account, it's there. If you got one of these kind of a credit union or something, then it's typically either going to be that same afternoon or it's going to be the next morning to get it, to get the cash in your account. So that's a very popular feature for people now.
Wow. That's awesome. So same day potentially uh off ramping straight to your bank account. Now, the legal implications of this. So I know crypto's all up in the air right now. We don't really have a lot of precedents set for how this stuff is all going to work. Now, I know bank accounts, if they get a deposit over $5,000 or $10,000, they oftentimes have like the anti-money laundering, anti-terrorism, financial reporting things to go by. So if somebody off ramped more than like $5,000 or $10,000, would their bank account potentially flag that and be like, "Hey, what is this? What's going on?" and send that to like the uh, FBI or whoever they send it to. I don't know, like the IRS or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think there's sort of structuring laws where if you're, kind of making, payments just below that amount and doing it repeatedly, something that looks suspicious. I think if there's kind of certain activity that looks suspicious, then you might run into that. Although typically it's more on the withdrawal side of things, also, right? So yeah, I don't know. We haven't encountered that. We haven't found users that are worried about that. We do have a limit of, I think it's a limit of $20,000, but we have users
Okay.
do, yeah, a couple $1,000 here and there. It's at the end of the day, people are typically off ramping with a purpose, and the purpose is not to just have your money sit in your bank account. It's usually to
Mhm.
do something with, and you've already got the Amazon credit card, you've already got the mortgage. So we haven't found a use case for like huge off ramps yet. But yeah, we kind of leave that up to you in some ways.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Are there any limits on the size of a bill that you could pay? Say I had like a $10,000 credit card bill, or let's say $25,000 credit card bill. I've got some whales that follow me, so like
Yeah,
I'm
no.
sure it happens.
Once you're in the system, I think it's a $20,000 limit now on a per transaction basis. I'm not sure what our daily limit is, but yeah. So theoretically, you can do that with us. Again, yeah, as long as you're kind of KYC'd and we know who you are, it's not a big deal.
Awesome. Have you done any security testing, auditing, or have you been exploited in any way yet? Anything like that?
We've used well, we have a couple of experts that are consultants, right? That have done it's not an official audit, right, by one of the big whatever 5 or 6 sort of agencies, right? But we've had
Hmm.
people look at multiple people look at the smart contracts and give us suggestions. In the super early, very very early days of Spritz, we had 10 customers testing month after month to make sure everything was good. And we actually used a piece of code from 0x, right? People are maybe familiar with the kind of the aggregator. Unfortunately, that piece of code had an exploit where an attacker could go in and change the address, right? The target address for the smart contract. And they
Mm.
did that. And it actually affected about 5 users where they're making their bill payments and it wasn't going where it needed to go. So, lesson learned from that. We communicated with them. We refunded them within an hour. They came back. They literally came back like the next day and started making even bigger payments, because they saw how we responded. But
Mm.
it was a big lesson learned, and so everything now is, kind of triple checked. As we raise more funds, hopefully next year, first quarter, second quarter next year, then we'll do official audits on all the chains, of course. But it's obviously very expensive, unfortunately.
Good to know, and thanks for sharing that and sharing how you handled it.
Yeah,
Another aspect of this is you guys aren't like sitting here with accounts. You're not in custody of anybody's funds.
right.
It's just like you're just passing it on through to the your partners with the bank accounts on the back end,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
it's not like you're sitting there with my entire wallet on your system, and then you've also got granular approvals that are easy to
Yep.
revoke too for anybody who's super paranoid, and if they have blind signing on their wallet or whatever, they
Yep.
can just go in after they're done with their payment, revoke the approval, and then next month
Correct.
they can come back, reapprove the exact amount they want to do that amount,
Yep.
revoke, leave. Like if you're super paranoid about stuff, you've given some good options, and I appreciate that personally because I am super paranoid.
Yeah, you have to be until, or I don't know if there will ever be a day where you don't have to do these things, because the whole point of crypto is kind of like with great power comes great responsibility. The power is in your hands, but then the responsibility is in your hands, and it does lead to these. Hey, if I'm going to interact with Uniswap, should I use a burner wallet? There are people that do that,
Yep.
but it's again, it's all about trade-offs. So yeah, we just say let's just be as transparent and honest as possible, and let people be sensible with us over time.
Absolutely. So yeah, are you planning on going public with your company anytime?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe after the next financing round, when we can really, expand the team. But customer support is always a challenge, not because we have so many, errors or anything, but just people are
Mhm.
saying, "Hey, I'm just poking around," or we'll say, "Hey, Alex, we noticed you added a bill, and but haven't paid it. Like, do you need any help?" And it's really important for us to still have that human interaction right now and learn from people before we just kind of open it up. So
Mhm.
yeah, I would say by end of next year, it'd be nice to be much more open than we are today. But again, if you just go to Spritz.finance, there's a wait list to join, but it's very short. In some cases, we're taking people off the wait list, every single week. So it should be a very short wait.
I think so actually I meant are you gonna do like an initial public offering and make this like a
Ah,
public corporation, or are you gonna stay
yeah.
private for the lifetime of this company, or have you put any thought into that?
I mean, obviously, there's no guarantees, and yeah, I mean, just like you and your viewers, where's the crypto market going? Where's regulations going? Does a
Yeah.
token make sense? And kind of, being decentralized and exiting to the community, so to speak, makes sense, or should we go the normal startup route and try to IPO, or even, I don't know, sell ourselves to a really, to Coinbase, right, or something, for
Right.
better for worse, right? I wouldn't rule anything out, but for now we're on this kind of private startup journey. We are considering a token in the future, but kind of haven't mapped that out. And so, but yeah, we do want to grow. We do want to be doing, hundreds of millions of dollars in volume. We want hundreds of millions of users. We want to build an app that's amazing for users and also really easy to integrate with. And if we can do that independently, then I mean, that's even better.
Yeah. Yeah, that there's a lot to consider with that kind of thing going public. And like stuff's up in the air. Like when Coinbase went public, we are all just like, all right, and then like they're jumping through so many hoops and running into all sorts of issues where this gives you that flexibility. And then you said you're thinking of potentially having a Spritz token of some kind to kind of give some kind of I don't want to, I got to watch my language with this thing because it's like not a security or
Yeah, we
whatever,
don't
but
know.
give
Yeah.
give some people some exposure to, to your business in that sense, right?
Yeah, I think it's a way of yeah, you got to be careful around, is this a utility token, a security token, is it supposed to go up in value or not? But at the end of the day, right, it's about sharing value back out to the community and back to users. If you're an early user of Spritz or an avid user of Spritz, if you're bringing other people into the system, then how can you get rewarded for that, right? Regardless of
Mm-hmm.
kind of price going up and down. Similarly, if you're a developer and you're going to integrate with Spritz or build a module to, like in South Africa, to connect to your utility, how can Spritz give you a piece of that revenue that's going through it? Well, I think a token is a really elegant way to do it. So it's not just about like crowdfunding or anything like that. It's more about truly creating a community that feels like part of the journey.
Yeah, and then that also allows you to make more of a trustless automated system with smart contracts where the tokens can just be automatically, sent in the right
Yep.
amounts without having to have a back end go to your bank account, make a transfer over to South Africa, and that can get.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah, it's a beauty of decentralized finance, right?
Yeah, that's right. And even fees, right? So instead of just charging like a straight transaction fee, could you imagine a world where, hey, you can stake some Spritz tokens and a certain amount of transactions are free every month, right?
I was gonna ask
There's ways
that.
to do that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you
So
could, if you have you thought about some like NFTs that give you like transaction free for X amount,
yes,
or
yeah,
like Founders Edition NFTs for early
yeah,
believers in you guys, and they get like 99% off their transactions for the rest of time
yep.
or whatever you need to, break
We're
even
gonna
on those
try.
transactions.
We got to pick and choose what we do. Like I'd love to have a swag shop, even with kind of real life stuff that we can give to early users. Maybe it's attached to an NFT, right?
Maybe a
And
coffee mug,
memberships.
eh? Huh?
Yeah, there. Oh, that's sweet, man. Love it. Yeah,
Yeah,
cool. Sure.
a lot of a lot of projects send me coffee mugs, and
That's a nice
including
one.
Satoshi sent me this one himself.
Right.
No,
Of course.
no, but
Filled
some
with
projects
bitcoins.
send me coffee mugs, and I'll just like I won't even realize I'm like drinking out of the something
Yeah, you
branded
got
with somebody else's
to careful what you're
project.
repping. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean the NFT, like sort of like membership NFTs, subscription NFTs, like very hot topic. So a lot of that infrastructure is still being built out. But yeah, I would love to kind of, if we could sell some lifetime memberships, right? For example, in an NFT, that's great revenue for us up front, and give someone kind of certainty over what they're going to get in the future. And then when there's like whatever ETH Denver and events like that, we can all meet and have a coffee or some spritzes together, to celebrate, right?
yeah. Hey, where's the name? Where does the name come from?
Yeah, pretty much Aperol Spritz, right? You can see the logo. We've got the ice, the oranges, the ice cube, and the bubbly,
Yeah, let me
and
pull that up so
yeah,
people
pull
can
it up.
see it.
Yeah, there you are. And you got the island
So
kind of beach, slightly kind of beach feel. Yeah, you can see the logo there. Um, yeah, the theme is really about, the theme is really about just kind of relax. Like I picture, you're on a beach somewhere, I don't know, in Florida, or Italy, and it's warm and you're laying back, you're on vacation, you've got this like spritz in your hand, and everything back home is taken care of, right? Your money's working for you, you're not working for your money. Everything's working, and you can just kind of relax. You feel kind of secure and relaxed, but it has this fun aspect too, right? So that's kind of the theme that we're trying to bring to Spritz.
I see that's cool. So yeah, this will help me relax at the end of the month when I'm sitting here like, oh god, how do I get my crypto to my bank account? And my wife's like, did you do it yet? Did you do it yet? And I'm like, just chill out, I'll get to
Yeah,
it.
no. Well, you could do it real time now. You could just say like, yeah, I did it, and then you could just do it, and then it's there. So
yeah,
we got you covered.
I see you guys. I saw some videos from James, my buddy James.
Oh yeah,
and that's how I found out about you guys actually. So James recommended you to me personally. He's like, you need to go check this out. It makes life a lot easier. And I'm like, all right, if you're telling me this, then it's got to work. And do you have time for me to maybe try out a quick payment?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I logged in, and here is my account. I connected my wallet from BNB chain.
Sure.
And we got
lots of chains there, whatever you want. Yep.
Yeah, Ethereum, Polygon, Optimism, Arbitrum, and Avalanche. And then it was super easy. So this was from the automated system. It pulled these in for me. My Chase card and Capital One card. I've got about a $1,200 payment here. So don't screw me over on this one, Chris. It's my biggest payment yet.
I'm watching over it personally.
You've got all the engineers there in the same room, like, you're good to go. All right, let me wake up my cold
They're
wallet.
alerted.
And yeah, so I will click pay with crypto, and it's due January 4th, and it's what day is it? The 19th.
Yeah, plenty of time.
So I've got plenty of time. All right. So
it's Tuesday. It's Monday. It should get there before the end of the week for sure.
So I can pay with BUSD. I've also got some like DAI, MDB, some other stuff in my wallet. So I'm going to use BUSD. I prefer to use it. And how much do I owe? I'm just going to do the full balance. So I'm going to come back here.
Hey, you can do any, I don't even think we have a minimum, to be honest. So, you can do $1. You can do, $10,000. It's all good.
Okay. And the fee here is $22.60. That is that 1.75% because I'm paying more than $1,000. And
yeah. Well, on the first 1,000, it's going to be the 2% of the 1.95, and then once you're beyond it, it's at the lower fee.
That's right. Thank you. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. That's all right.
Yeah. So
and it'll blend it if you're kind of in between. It'll blend it and calculate it out for you. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. So now I'm going to approve this transaction. My MetaMask is popping up, and do I have to? For what? Oh, I see. My ledger is plugged into the wrong USB port. Let me.
There you go.
Fix that real quick. So, do you use this yourself? That I guess I should ask. Do you? In the engineering world, in the software world, they say, "Do you eat Do you eat your own dog food?" Yeah, you already know, man.
That's right. Yeah, of course. I've got my car loan actually on there. It's really convenient for that. And then I've got a Chase Sapphire. And then I've done some utility bill payments with it as well. So I've got my electricity bill in there and my Verizon Fios bill also.
Nice. I'm going to try. So later on. So actually, this one does not have the granular approvals that I thought.
I noticed. Yeah,
it might.
I think you saw a feature that we're like working on. You might see it for like one chain, or it's coming out in preparation for the Smart Pay, right? Okay. For the automated payment. We want it because that's really important to give people fine-tuned controls to kind of revoke or kind of dial up and down. So when we release the Smart Pay, the recurring pay, it'll have that controls. For now, it's kind of a one-time thing, and there's kind of less of a concern about it.
I could have swore that when I paid with Dai last time, I had granular control. I could have. I think it was Spritz. I don't think it was another app I was using. So maybe on Dai, you guys were doing like a kind of a soft rollout for that feature. I don't know. Uh,
Yep. Yeah, I
I
think
could
so. I'll
I
ask the engineers.
so I approved the
There you go,
BUSD.
approved.
Now I'm just gonna hit pay with it. It's popping up in MetaMask again, and this is it. Wish me luck.
Yeah, I'm watching on the back end.
It's always exciting to
Just while
try
we've been
try these
talking, we've
out.
had people pay, someone paid their Navy Fed card, someone paid their Apple card, someone paid their personal loan, someone just paid an Amazon Rewards Visa signature just now, literally.
Hmm.
Wait, that's you. That's you.
Oh, that's me. It
Yeah,
worked then, and I
I
got
see it. Yeah.
confetti. It's a celebration,
There you go,
and
man.
I'm excited to tell my
Yeah,
wife I
get
have
it in
paid the bills this
your
month.
yeah,
This
it's in your inbox and as well in the email, and you can track it. And again, it's Amazon card. We're working on shortening the payment time. Hopefully get it to at least next day as soon as we
Mhm.
can. But yeah, for now, you've got
Dude,
the lead time and you're all set.
that was great because I actually I take crypto donations for our nonprofit.
Mm,
We've got a
hmm.
registered nonprofit animal sanctuary. I have separate
Oh
wallets
yeah.
for donations for that. But then we've
Okay.
got like credit cards specific to that, like in our names and everything. So like if we like for instance, there are vet bills mixed into this payment. Like half of this was probably like uh chicken and dog and goat vet bills that we've been paying off, but we've also got
Yeah.
like credit card specific
Yeah.
to like the hospital for the vet that the emergency vet hospital I should say,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and this will make that so much more simple than trying to get like the crypto through all those things again for that separate account where
Hmm.
we take donations. So that's awesome, and I'm gonna
Awesome, man. Yeah.
yeah.
What a great cause. If you go to add another account here, let me see if this. Yeah, see this pay someone else. This is live now,
Hmm.
and you can. So if it's the hospital bill or an invoice or something,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is still
yeah.
early, right? But this is basically you can kind of type in the info here, and now it has the same instant off ramp capability. So you make a real time bank payment basically to whatever the hospital using your crypto right here.
Wow. Okay. And that was I was going to ask if the credit card name is in the name of my nonprofit organization or the bank or whatever. I could do it
Yeah.
this way potentially instead of having to go through my
Yeah, otherwise you create a
personal.
new account. Yeah, you'd have to create a new we need to be paying bills that are in the name of the person, right, who signed up.
Yeah.
So you can't just add, random credit card. But we are working on, I'm calling it Spritz Business, but basically kind of a small business. A lot of people have kind of a business on the side, or they're a small business owner, or they're running a DAO or something, right? So to be able to pay those business bills too. Yeah, that could help you as well.
Nice. This was great. So this is paid, and in four
There you
days
go.
or so, I'll get an email saying it's good to go. And I will, when it comes time to pay my mortgage, which is in a couple days here, I will try to make a video of me
Sweet.
adding my Wells Fargo mortgage account and paying it, and then crossing my fingers. But no, this is so
No, we
far
have a lot
I've
of people doing mortgages. Yeah, it's very popular, right? So yeah, that's kind of the big one.
so far it's worked. This is amazing, super cool. This is a game changer for me because my entire life is in crypto now. So
Yeah.
the trickiest part for me, I guess, is taxes. Like
Yep.
if I've made gains on anything, say I'm sitting in Ethereum and it's gone up since I bought it or down, and then I just use your swap to automatically use it to pay something, I probably have to take note like of the price that I swapped it at so I could
Yep.
pay capital gains or losses on it, right?
Yeah. So well, firstly, everything's on chain. So
Mhm.
as you saw, or maybe we didn't show on screen share, you can click view the transaction. You'll see the transaction on chain. So if you're using
Yeah.
TaxBit or Zen Ledger, Coin Tracker, you don't need to do anything new with Spritz. Just kind of add the wallet.
Mhm.
And if you're sitting on gains, you don't want to sell them because you'll incur some taxes. So we are working
Yeah.
on some integrations, right? Again, with some of the lending protocols where, or
Nice.
stablecoin, right? Where you can say, let me deposit some ETH and let me mint some stablecoin and then use that stablecoin to pay some bills. And then I can choose when and where to liquidate the ETH to pay back the loan. So you're basically paying you kind of refinancing your credit cards with an on-chain loan. You know, your
That's
mileage may
great.
vary, right? YOLO, right? I don't know, but it's if you want to do it, right, that's a tool. Um, and then, it's December, so a lot of people doing tax management now. We're probably, at least, I don't know, if I'm like anyone else, I'm sitting on a lot of losses, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
harvesting
Yeah.
those losses to then just pay a bill is, kind of a nice win-win a little bit, right? It's a little bit of a kind of a prize or silver lining or something at the end, right? Where I
I've
can kind of
got
take the
books
tax gain, pay the bill.
writ I've got books written by like millionaires and billionaires, and like this is how we do it, and they take the loans out on their assets that are either income producing or appreciating, and they
Yeah,
don't want to take the tax hit, so they take the loan out, use that to get the cash flow to pay off all this stuff, and then later on when it's an opportune time and they want to liquidate some of those assets, they can. And like that's something like Michael Saylor talks about with Bitcoin all the
hmm,
time. It's like just
yeah,
sit on your Bitcoin, take loans out against it, pay off your stuff, and then when Bitcoin goes up, 5x again or something,
yeah.
take a little bit of profit then to pay off the loan and the principal, and then just do it again, right?
Exactly. I'm sure our friend James Pelton could tell us how to do that
Yeah,
in detail.
seriously. And not financial advice to anybody, but yes, James
Right.
Pelton probably has thought a lot of this stuff through in his situation.
Yeah.
So, well, I know we both got to get going, Chris. I really want to thank you for all the time you've spent going through this with me. I could ask you questions all night. This business model fascinates
We can
me.
do it again. Yeah, let's do it again. See what your
All
community
right.
says, and maybe they've got some questions on the video, and I can come back on, or I'll respond in the video notes.
All right, that sounds great. So thank you, Chris. Anybody watching, it's Spritz.finance. I'll put the links in the description
That's
below.
it.
Their Discord server is very active as well, and they've got
Hmm,
beta testers, and it's a lot of
hmm.
community involvement. Very cool project. So check them out, and good luck paying your bills now with crypto. This is the future, man. So, Chris,
Awesome. Yeah. Happy to
it.
help.
All right, I'll talk with you later.
All right. Cheers.